This is the waterfall that inspired Jose to purchase this land, and it was Teresa, the daughter, that took Judy on a walk just 4 weeks after he purchased the property, and she pointed out that not only was that waterfall the backdrop, but it was also the means of powering the park. So the hydroelectric system produced the power, and that's exactly what it's doing today. It's putting out 18 kilowatts of power and really making this park got a connection with Jose and what he was achieving. We now take you around the back of this building before it gets too dark.
Wow.
Because this takes you down into what is Paronella Park, and it was Teresa that said she was walking down those steps and she turned back and she said, I feel like I'm stepping back in time. And that's exactly what she did. She took us back, and all of a sudden she was talking as if she was a child.
Wow. Just 1 second, I'm just going to get this. Sorry, sir.
Oh, good, thanks.
Strange Encounters fans.
Everybody notices and feels that whole sensation as we walk underneath this parapet, the castle above us. And this building was where the weddings, the dances, the movies. So this was the multi-purpose castle and the cafe and the kitchen. So that was where all the events were held. And it's the reason why even the locals are not sure what is keeping the park going. What they don't realise, many of them, is they attended a wedding here in 1974. In 1979, fire destroyed this building.
Wow.
What they didn't realise is that 90% of the park is back here. Amazing. How was it? Good, good. Wonderful, thank you.
Wow, guys.
And this takes you down the most amazing thing. And this is where Teresa turned back. And she literally was just taking us back to being a child, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 years of age. And she was the one that was taking us back into her life and her time here at Paronella Park, watching her dad build this park.
Wow.
And the first piece he built was the grand staircase.
The grand staircase?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. This access, Strange Encounters fans, unbelievable.
It's just...
Well, with Mark, the owner, Mark Evans.
This guy that built it, did you expect him to be an architect or a builder or a concreter or something? But no, he was a qualified pastry chef. And that's what he was. And we know the work that he's done has been battered by 3.5 metres of rainfall each year. Gets knocked around, but it's still here. G'day, mate.
Wow. Wow.
Stunning. And all of a sudden, you can imagine, Jose, he actually put this together. It wasn't just a natural feature here that he put tables and chairs on and fences. He actually built a retaining wall right out there, right around. He built a retaining wall there, and he's gained material from a tunnel that he built back there, and he's filled it, backfilled it. He's built fences in position. He's built 25 tables here.
Wow,
25
look at this.
tables. And 4 people at each table. But if everyone thinks back to when they were young, you'll find that they probably fit 5 or 6 people because 2 of the kids be over here swimming. And so they could fit 100 people here. This guy was amazing. And we didn't know there were 25 tables. We thought there were about 20.
Really?
Until a flood came through and cleared debris, and we found more tables that we didn't even know existed.
There, yeah.
They had all this debris from previous floods covering.
Amazing. This is just
incredible.
amazing.
And if you come over here, we decided we'd feed a few fish.
Oh, wow.
And we saw this whole thing of fish feeding as being, let's give the fish a bit of food. And we found out later that Jose and Margarita, when they finished a function, would have pasta left over, so they fed the fish. So the fish are getting fed again, just as they were back in 1930s, 1940s.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, it is beautiful. It's part of the story.
It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
In many ways, you know, I just say we replicate what Jose does. We're getting our electricity from the waterfall. And as I said earlier, we're going to be having electronic car charge stations out the front. 1933 power station will be powering those Teslas and other vehicles as they drive off. People are going to be coming just to do that. People are going to be coming down this back road. It's going to be great. It's quite exciting.
Sort of takes your breath away, really, doesn't it? Look at more tables.
That's our lovely staircase. And if you look at it, it's not simply something built on the ground.
No.
It's built on pillars.
Yep.
The people that are most impressed with this tend to be people that are qualified in landscaping. I find the big concrete companies, you know, they're someone that started a business.
What do you think he was channeling, Mark? Is it possible? Because, you know, when we talk about the seed of human consciousness and where we get our skill sets, are we relearning or reconnecting with a learning from a previous lifetime? Do you think that might be, maybe something like that's happening with you? Can you resonate with that?
Look, I can, and I do now. I actually believe that there is, the other thing has been here for a purpose, and I think that I just get almost frustrated with that thing of why don't people realise that their full potential? And I think that's one thing that we have realised, that we have, we can almost achieve anything.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
When we arrived here, people said you're crazy. People said we would be here for 2 years. The bank manager was very reticent to give us money. And we find all these things, no. What we've now, find is 25 years later, I have no doubt that this can be done anywhere. It is that whole thing of channeling. It's the point of difference. It's actually making yourself stand out from the crowd. And it's not very hard. But what you have to do is believe that you can do it.
But the other thing, though, that, I mean, absolutely 110% what you're saying, Mark. But also, I'll actually film you when you've got that beautiful backdrop and we can sort of get you in the frame there. That's fine. But when we're talking in terms of this inspiration and this knowledge that seems to come out of nowhere, you were communicating this with us, with Judy, your lovely wife, before, when the business had looked like, oh, how are we going to get through that? And then all of a sudden, something, you put your hands up in the air, it's like, oh yeah, like something just
snaps,
drops into place for us, like out of nowhere. That sort of coincidence.
Well, the channeling for Jose, the discussion is that his grandmother used to talk about castles. And
wow.
So when he
I've never heard that before.
No, and it is true. And we have a lady from Wollongong that wrote a book about this, about Jose and his life.
And look at you channeling again with your hands, folks. That's what he does. He does that.
And what you find is that Jose spent a lot of time, like probably most Spanish families, but he was a Catalan. And I met a Catalan yesterday who actually talked about the gardens that inspired Jose. But Jose's grandmother spoke about the castles and where the dream buildings were in different parts as Jose was a young lad.
Wow.
And so I think he always had this in the back of his mind. Remember, we are fortunate here. We have huge scope to do things in Australia, probably more so than almost every other country. The resources, the space, freedom of mind,
that's right,
freedom of soul. And I would say right now that we are in a perfect position. Yes, we did find Paronella Park and lots of people said no, but we've proven that wrong. Now they're saying, oh, you're easy, you found Paronella Park. No, this has been a really interesting and exciting...
Did you find Paronella Park, Mark, or are you convinced maybe Paronella Park found you?
Yeah, I think that's a real possibility. And it jumped up on a TV screen as a 12-year-old. It jumped out at us. It was actually in how can you time it more beautifully? We didn't find Paronella Park sitting here. We found Paronella Park sitting here with a for sale sign on it. And not only that, it was the part of our lives where we had dropped out of the corporate world and we had basically decided we were looking for something. And I remember the real estate agent, Mark Airy. What did he ask me? He said, Mark, what are you guys looking for? And I said, something interesting.
Well, it certainly is that.
Yeah, come on, we've got to show you more.
No,
There's much more.
Jamie's actually having a look at it from an energetic perspective now, and he's walking around. But Jamie, we've got to move before the light event. But we're you've said to us that we're able to come down to this place in the evening.
Yep.
And we could do a little bit of martial arts training down here.
Absolutely.
I won't go through any of the fences.
We have people every Saturday morning doing Tai Chi in the park.
Wow.
The locals, they just use it as a...
Where do they do it?
They're up in the top garden, but sometimes over here, and I'll show you where.
Because I got drawn over to that spot. Is that one of your favourite spots, Mark?
I've got two favourite spots. I have to say the lower refreshment room is a favourite spot.
Okay.
But part of this park is my favourite.
There you go again with that hand. I love it.
Part of it is the trees.
Yes.
This avenue of trees.
Whoa, would you feel that? Right here. Right here. Whoa.
Well, this is what uncovered.
Whoa.
This was uncovered in a flood.
Right, so the flood's uncovered this area.
Yeah,
We just got a real surge of energy here, guys.
Debris, if you can imagine, all that soil there, that was debris right out across there. So it looked like just a continuation of the ground.
Right.
And so we didn't bother it. It's fine, like everywhere else. But this, we believe it was from a previous cyclone that caused debris to be chucked down here, and they just covered all these tables, and they keep going, and we just found that that's rotted away, and then a flood has come through. We get floods right up here, so massive floods, and the water has come through and dislodged all that debris and uncovered it. So who did that? Nature?
Yes.
A flood?
Yes, absolutely.
Someone helped us.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Earth energy. Earth energies, and there's more than that here. This, yeah, oh wow, look at this, folks. Strange Encounters, UFO Research Queensland fans, check this out. We're on a back roads tour of Paronella Park with the amazing owner, inspirational owner, Mark.
Every corner you look, you just look at a position like that. And this is the lower refreshment room. So he's built this. These are the changing cubicles. So
changing cubicles.
Thousands and thousands of people came here. This was their social activity, and they got changed in these changing cubicles. They had the inside, they had their drinks. Jose had something that nobody else had in this area. He had electricity. So he had refrigeration. He had freezers. He had ice cream.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm feeling really unbalanced here. No, and it's getting stronger.
All the time.
Jamie?
All the time.
Yeah.
I
gotta keep up with Mark, this enthusiasm. Holy dooly.
Now, Teresa stood here and she said, Dad built the park with views to the waterfall. With views to the waterfall. Now, I think people would call them vistas, but I can tell you that we couldn't see the waterfall like you can see it right now. Cyclone Larry came through, and look what it did. Jose built with views to the waterfall.
Okay.
And do you know what that lines up with?
No.
These massive trees down here.
That's what it is. This is the line we're feeling. Check this out, folks. Do you see that energetic pathway there? It doesn't get any clearer than that. That is absolutely amazing.
So he's built the park.
Oh, okay. So,
like so.
Do you feel this? There's an intersection of energy where I'm standing. And what's this under here?
Look, I think it'd be from one of the big trees.
Do you see that?
Central.
Okay, so that's what we've got here, guys. You see this? But if you look at this, we've got a convergence in two energetic lines. And the apex of that is just where I'm standing, and I've never been here before. Would you attest to that, Mark? This feeling is absolutely amazing. There's a convergence here. Wow. And what sort of trees do we got? We've got the... Okay, we'll go for a quick walk.
Down here.
This is amazing, folks.
You could spend an hour and a half, 2
I know.
hours walking around.
Wow, wow, wow.
But when you come through here, he even built the old toilet block.
Look at that. It's the the toilet block looks like
Another castle.
That's all.
Did you say castle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another castle.
Yeah, it's another castle.
Okay, so Jamie, you probably can't see him down there, folks, but he's got a convergence with the dowsing rods. I'm trying to get it. We're running out of light here, but I'm trying to get it. Sorry about it. Excuse my... So he's got that convergence there where I was standing, so that's been confirmed. Wow, amazing. Okay, let's go. Sorry, Mark.
No.
Oh, wow, okay.
Look at these.
Wow.
Now, every time I look at something, I can tell you there's freaky situations. This park lost around about 150 to 200 trees.
Yes.
In Cyclone Larry.
Yep.
That avenue, we lost one, and it wasn't because of a direct hit from the cyclone, it was an indirect hit. Another tree, another variety of tree, came down and smacked one of the smaller varieties of these down the other end. And we lost one in two big cyclones.
So what's happening here? There's something. Sorry, Mark.
No.
What's this area here? What's happened here? There's something here in this particular spot.
Well, this would be that was the tennis courts.
Yeah.
So all the guests would be playing tennis. They'd get changed in the changing cubicles.
Yeah.
This is the toilets they would have used.
Yeah.
So there would have been a lot of traffic through here.
Right. So this is a major, major traffic way.
Both from the tennis courts and the cafe, but also
You
from
can see the
swimming
waterfall
area.
and everything. It's like the waterfall just sort of stands guard over
Yeah,
the
it is.
entire property.
Well,
See that, folks?
That's the inspiration. That was what he said. This is where we're going to build this park. And he walked these paths for 15 years before he started building. So from 1914, 1913, he saw that waterfall and he walked the paths. And you'll notice along each of the edges, those stones, he laid the stones. And it was Teresa again that said all these stones were laid by him and he mapped it out with stones. So if you had that building there, how he mapped the building out, the footprint of the building, the footprint would be all mapped out with stones. So he knew that building was going to go there.
So you can see that there where I was standing,
Yes.
guys. It's part of how he mapped the area, laying stones, intricate stonework like this. Do you know what this is reminiscent of, Jamie? Song lines.
Yeah, the
Indigenous. It's like a replication of indigenous song lines to water
source. He was
source.
able to pick up on the energy that flowed through the land, and walking these pathways for so long, it's like he intuitively was able to feel the energy and how they needed to be created. And looking at how these are being placed, they don't interfere with the natural energy lines that are flowing through here.
Yeah.
And the dowsing rods actually confirm that. As I run, the energy runs this way and runs parallel right down through those benches, right down along the water's edge. So he could feel how that flow needed to happen. And if you look at all the trees,
It's almost like that Chinese feng shui.
Yeah.
When you are looking at the position
It
of
is.
the paths.
It is exactly like
and
that.
how
yeah.
his daughter stood at the apex there, and when I stood where she stood, both rods crossed.
I saw that. We picked that up.
And
yeah.
there was a point where an intersection of both energies needed to converge, but there was no interruption to actually the natural flow of energy from the trees. And she said, "This is where you need to swim through the waterfall."
While we're here,
Yes.
come out here 5 or
This
7
path, we're going to come out here in the evening. No one's going to call the police on us, Mark. Oh my God, that's breathtaking. Oh my
now
God.
you know why we like rainfall.
Oh, wow.
Rainfall, we get 3.5 meters. Look at the moss on those buildings. Look at the beauty of the plants. There's no electricity needed to make those fountains operate. Those fountains are operating through gravity feed lines.
Oh wow.
And
When we get closer, or is there something?
No.
Wow. I can't believe this, Strange Encounters UFO Research Queensland fans. This is unbelievable. Really, I'll just try and get a wide shot for you. Pardon my... Here we go. That is absolutely breathtaking.
So that hydroelectric system tonight lights this up
Yes.
with modern technically capable lights that have been programmed to synchronise with the music. 3 of the pieces of 5 pieces have been written specifically for here. Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
Okay, so what we're talking about is we've got pieces of music written for here, so another vibrational synchronicity as well. So when we feel this tonight, we listen to it, it'll be interesting to experience whether we pick up some more congruency here, Mark, with that. I'm saying we will, if I'm a betting man.
Well, the last piece, it's called The Dream.
The Dream, yes.
Sarah sings it, and it is stunning.
Oh, wow.
So he designed this as the gravity feed.
He and his son.
Yeah.
And if you look over there, I think you can see a fish.
Yeah.
There's 11 barramundi in here. It's amazing. We feed the brim and the jungle perch over there. There's another barramundi in there. And there's another one there. Yeah. But gravity fed. And it just runs and runs. I actually have had people on night tours say, oh, you don't have to turn those fountains off. And I say, no, nature is doing it all. The pressure. Jose really realised water, North Queensland is key. Yeah. Water as a backdrop, what a beautiful view. Water for electricity, water for pressure for fountains, water for the gardens. Well, there's a story of water.
Well, Mark, what we've been talking about is potentialized energy on this trip. Everything, there's potential. There's a lot of potential there in every moment, and this guy's had the vision to see that and potentialize everything.
Yes.
And basically he's transmuted all this. It's very alchemic, would you say, Jamie?
Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
His intuitive process and understanding of how water would bring life to the park, both through the fountains and through
as it does to everything else.
As it does to everything. But water is the conduit of life.
And there's a lady from Townsville who attends JCU. We are contacted by JCU. She wants to do a study which takes the story of Paronella Park and allows it to be told to school students. So it's set to the curriculum.
Wow.
She actually chose one piece, another piece, which was the water. And the water.
Water's key?
It's key, and I'll tell you what, it's got a beautiful story to tell here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, I want to show you these cowries, because even though we saw them a minute ago, these trees are incredible. They are about 40 metres tall. They were planted in 1933. The family planted them, and it was Teresa that said, wow, I helped plant these trees. Now, as a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old, you don't forget those sort of things. But the wow came from that she hadn't seen these trees. In 1994 she returned. She hadn't seen them since 1951.
Wow.
So it was 42 years later that she came back. Significant, isn't it? Another 42 years.
42, so we're talking a lot of things lining up. It's a magic number.
Yes.
Well, it's almost, what was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I don't know whether that's true or not, guys, and don't hate me for this, but that 42 number, was that the secret of the universe? I don't know.
With the roundabout that.
Is that what they said in Hitchhikers?
Here we are.
It is, isn't it?
Yep.
Look, I feel like I'm in Jurassic. I'm sorry, guys, I'm just a buzz here. This is absolutely amazing.
So these are 86 years old.
86 years old.
And they can live for 1,000 years. So a child walking through this park today as a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old would look at these and come back. They're going to live till they're 100. So come back in 70 years, 150-year-old trees. And the reason they stand tall is because they seem to be able to withstand those cyclones. And it's maybe because they're working together. They've got root systems that run out many metres.
Yes.
And they're just below ground level, but they're not just one root system. You can see multiple roots going out in all directions, so it'd be like a spider web holding it all together.
Do you feel it here too, Jamie, just in this spot? It's like a tingle.
It's an intensification where each path crosses and comes together. He's managed to figure that out and how to lock the energy in.
I think really what's happened is here, it's chicken and egg stuff really, Mark, but I believe and I'm feeling that He's intuitively picked up on the energy,
Yeah.
on the ley lines, on this property, and all he's done is he's constructed his dream, or he's partnered earth energy to construct his dream, and in doing that, it has a timeless, an epic, timeless, ageless quality about it. And we're running out of light here.
Well, I'll tell you,
But
we're
there's
going to see one last
one
bit.
more thing, yeah. Oh, wow.
Tomorrow morning you can still see more, but I think I should show you the amazing little grotto in
wow.
Teresa Falls. And what it is just be very careful with the steps. Yes, it gets dark quick.
Yes.
I had a film crew from New Zealand, and I tell you, they spent half an hour upstairs, and I kept telling them, you're going to run out of light. But we couldn't even film down here in the end.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't meant to
Crossroads, Jamie.
Okay.
Crossroads, feel it?
be. That's the tunnel,
So the convergence.
that's the entrance, and this is Palm Grove.
Wow.
And over here we have amazing range, and I think there could be...
Sorry guys, I'm just spinning around to show you what I was talking about in terms of the convergence and the crosses. Try to keep up with this guy. The passion's amazing. Unprecedented access, guys. One-on-one tours, strange encounters with the owner of Paronella Park. Amazing. It's getting dark too, guys, so... Oh wow. We'll come back and film this for you in the light, but this is amazing.
For the bamboo, but I'll just show you down here because this is...
I don't know if you can see this, guys.
Talk about water. This is spring water.
Spring water. Sorry guys about the light, we'll just keep filming and do our best here, but
Little back that's really calm.
wow. We're exciting. Oh, it's starting to light up.
Everything gets lit up at night, and
Oh, amazing, guys.
there you are. There's a magic piece of the park.
Wow. That is stunning, sir. Wow.
It's amazing. Now this is Teresa Falls. So this, Jose, it's a natural waterfall, but it has been reconfigured.
Right.
And what happens up the top, you can see that rockwork, and you can see 3 streams of water. Now the main waterfall is called Mena Falls after the daughter of the local publican. There was Henry Noon, his daughter was Philomena, so he called the big waterfall Mena Falls. So Jose decided he should give his daughter a waterfall, and he created that rockwork up there to create 3 streams as a replica of the main waterfall, which has 3 streams of water. And that's exactly what he's done. That's a spring. This used to be the drinking water, and it was even the drinking water when we arrived here. We now get water out from Innisfail and pumped out here, piped out here to we got mains water. Yeah. And that's, to be quite honest, nice, because it is a challenge taking water nowadays with all the rules and regulations regarding health and safety. But this is beautiful, crystal clear water.
But look at how it's all carved, like the...
Oh, all the way. He
amazing.
did all that rockwork, It's got a real mysterious and beautiful feel at night. It's
almost,
so totally different.
It's almost, I'm feeling Faye here. Like Faye, are you? Yeah, I'm feeling Faye here, but anyway, it's...
But you've got things like nature at its best. The giant ferns, they thrive in valleys.
Yeah.
We've got 200 giant ferns here. There's one up there, but they're everywhere, right throughout the valley here. And these are the world's largest ferns. So these date back 200 to 250 million years ago. They were the food of dinosaurs in Australia. And of course, having a special part like this, and at night time, people sit here and they just contemplate. and it really is just the most relaxing part of the park. It's one of my favourites, and it was Teresa that showed us that this wasn't working. When we arrived here the first probably month, until Teresa, 4 weeks after we arrived here, all the water was running down that side. The holes that Jose had created in that rock, they weren't working. It was all blocked up. So we had to re-chisel those holes and pieces of wire, gouge them out, and we got it going again. And now it works, and it works well. Stunning.
It is stunning. Thank you so much, sir. It's amazing. I've got to shake your hand here. Thank you very much. Absolutely amazing. Pleasure.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Oh, look, honestly, yeah, it's our privilege. It's our honour to have met you and your lovely wife and some of your staff, and your hospitality. Unparalleled, sir. And we wish you sincerely all the best in the future. And thank you for helping us reconnect with this earth energy on so many different levels, Jamie.
Absolutely.
It's just so much. I'm sort of like spinning here, so it's like amazing.
Well, I think it's two-way again. I always say that if we hadn't met you, maybe we wouldn't have shown and realised the connection that we do have to this park.
Thank you, sir.
And to the history of it.
I'm so humbled by that. Thank you.
Thank you.